Now, following a disastrous elective conference that failed to conclude its work, the newly elected ANC Gauteng executive will provide updates on the state of readiness for the resumption of the 14th Provincial Conference today. When it reconvenes, additional Provincial Executive Committee members will be elected and policy documents discussed. The elective conference is expected to conclude its work this weekend. Well, for the latest, let's speak to reporter Lindokuhle Xulu. Good afternoon. What's the latest you can tell us about this matter of the ANC Gauteng's Provincial Conference?
Well, good afternoon, Praten. Yes, we were invited to a readiness briefing by the African National Congress in Gauteng. You'd remember the last time, contextually, they were not finished with their conference. All they were able to achieve in that particular conference was to elect the top 5, and there was still a need to elect additional members of the PEC. There is still a need to discuss some of the policies as well as issues that are facing people in Gauteng. In fact, I'm joined by the provincial secretary, that is Ubabutike. Thank you so much for your time, Baba. Let's just get through that. You had unfinished business. You are saying you're going to continue this particular weekend at Birchwood Hotel. Just give us a sense of some of the things really that need to be achieved as far as this weekend is concerned.
I think we would really like to elevate the issue of content. What must come out of this conference? Without any doubt, it must be such that a conference in Gauteng was sitting. We must be very clear on policy issues that the ANC should talk to, especially things that Gautengers have been talking to for the past few years, things that they've been crying about. We must be found on the side of our people, and I believe that the delegates coming to this conference are very ready for discussions. That is why they were sitting patiently, not just to vote, but to come and raise issues that must make sure that we regain the lost ground as the African National Congress. And I believe that we are going to turn the corner. This weekend, when we leave that conference, we'll be talking about a very disciplined ANC. We'll be talking about an ANC that is united, but the ANC that must advocate for the interest of our people.
Some of the things that caused a bit of delay was dealing with issues from the Ekurhuleni region. We know those quarantine votes are still a thorny issue. You've explained it to us, but I must ask now, since we have this platform, there was also issues, of course, of some delegates that were actually not accredited. They came with fake, accreditation. So all of those issues, including the interdict that was put forth there, we do know that it was dismissed. But just give us a sense, really, of some of the things. Are all the checks and balances is done, and is there anything that we can expect to disturb this particular conference or the continuation or resumption of this conference?
We don't expect anything to delay this conference, really, unless people have got other ulterior motives. Yeah. We believe this conference must do what it's supposed to do. Firstly, elect the full complement of the PEC. Secondly, deal with the issues of content, like I said it before. The issues of Ekurhuleni, really, everybody knows what must happen in that issue. We can't really elevate it beyond this point. The NEC has dealt with the issue. The Secretary General's office will deliver to the PEC the verdicts of those branches, and that's it. The PEC will then have to endorse whatever that has to be endorsed or take whatever decision they have to take. It's a PEC decision. But of course it must be legal, it must be political, it must follow the processes of the ANC. It can't be two ways about it. There was a conference that said in Ekurhuleni. It's a fact. I mean, you can't change the fact that there's a conference that said that. So the PEC will have to follow the processes and the right processes of the organization. It will not be how I feel as a person. It will be what is the process, where are we, and so on. But let's leave it to the PEC to make that decision. It can't be my decision, because the NEC would have given the responsibility to the PEC. But that does not destabilize the conference of the ANC in Gauteng. I mean, we would know the credentials that were adopted at the conference. So you can reopen and open credentials. It doesn't work like that. Credentials are adopted once. 122 delegates, 1,022 delegates were at conference, and of course this is from branch delegates. So the conference would have pronounced itself. There is a leadership in Gauteng. There's no question about it. Nobody's questioning it. except some people who are malicious in corners, thinking that they can continuously want to divide. You see, it is always very difficult when there was a conference and people want to contest beyond a point of conference. There can't be a contest like that. So where we are, we believe delegates want to really come and debate and discuss issues that have to do with our people. We can't continue to be an inward-looking organization like we have been. We have to change. We have to be with our people. Yeah.
Just a very last question from myself. You were in fact on the slate of Adiwele that was led by Ubabule Maile. Panyaza Lesufi had also his preferred candidates in terms of filling up these positions. But of course, there is a bit of a mixture with you being the provincial secretary. Have you embraced each other? One of the things you'll be discussing is unity within the ANC. You'll also be talking about issues of a roadmap to 2024, as well as the issues of the people of Gauteng, as you rightfully said. But the one of unity really stems from the fact that there's a lot of people that are seeing divisions among the ANC. Are you, embracing each other? Are you working together very well in terms of this particular leadership?
The internal democratic processes of the ANC should be respected as such. Because there's a temptation to say an organization like the ANC, which embraces democracy, is then divided. Because we embrace democracy. I don't see any other organization that embraces democracy like we do. But post-conference, we should respect the elected leadership. That's how the ANC should be. So we can't be told we're divided because you won by 1 vote or 10 votes. What caused divisions there? It means ANC members believe there's capacity in the African National Congress. And of course, then individuals take a choice who they vote for. Where we stand, the chairperson of Gauteng is Comrade Panyaza Lesufi, Comrade Nomantu is a deputy chair. Someone is the secretary of the province. Comrade Tasnim is a deputy secretary. And Comrade Mrakan is a treasurer. So that's where we are. Okay. And we are united, and our focus is to bring, in fact, we want to make an example with this coming conference, that we will be united moving forward. We will never even undermine each other because we don't have time to do that.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for now because we don't have time to go any further. Thank you so much. Babu Tikeng is there, the provincial secretary, just giving us a sense really of their readiness in terms of going towards the continuation or resumption of the conference. They couldn't finish on the 26th of June, I believe. But one of the things he speaks about is that they are going to be electing the additional members of the PEC, but they'll also be focused in terms of the commissions, trying to get the content that is needed to change the lives of not just ANC members, but also people, ordinary South Africans that are living in Gauteng. So those are some of the things that they say they need to come out of in terms of this conference as resolutions that will lead the PEC in terms of moving forward and towards 2024.
Thank you very much, Lindokuhle there, speaking to Thembinkosi Nciza, the new secretary of the ANC's Provincial Executive Committee in Gauteng.